Hey everybody, Mark Howell with Grounded Truths LLC out of Doniphan, Missouri here. Looking to talk about prescribed fire attire today, what we should be wearing when we're about to do a prescribed burn. Also going to go over really quickly how to assemble and prepare a drip torch to be ready for use on a burn. So first things first, long sleeve shirt. Always long sleeves whenever we're working on a fire, prescribed, otherwise. In a prescribed burn situation, you don't really need to have the fancy Nomex, Kevlar, etc., like wildland firefighters use. This shirt is just 100% pure cotton, perfectly acceptable. If you want to go with the flame resistant option, these pants, TechaSafe, from my old wildland fire career. So this is actually, go for pants, not coats or jackets or shirts. Go for pants first, because your legs, you're going to be walking through the heat, etc. Your legs are going to take a lot more heat than your upper body is in an ideal situation. So if you're going to buy fire resistant, go with the pants first. And lastly, boots. All leather construction. We want as much leather as possible down here. Leather is a wonderful insulator. Anything that is synthetic, any kind of nylons, etc., can melt under heat. You obviously don't want your footwear melting to your feet. You don't want your pants melting to your legs. So likewise with your pants, if you don't go for the fire resistant option, make sure natural fibers, denim is perfectly acceptable. Lots of folks wear old blue jeans, and that's perfectly fine. Last things you're gonna need, a pair of leather gloves. Make sure they're good, sturdy, heavy-duty leather gloves. And again, all leather construction, don't do the mechanics that have the neoprene or nylon back, etc., because that can melt in the heat situation. Last thing, eye protection. These are ESS roll bar. I love these. They actually form a very good seal to your face to keep out smoke, ash, and embers. Any kind of good ballistic eyewear is fine, but you do want something covering your eyes, whether it's goggles, some good sunglasses, etc. Keep smoke out, keep ash and particles out. If you're running the leaf blower, you know, you're going to have stuff flying up in the air. Protect your eyes. Okay, so now we're ready. We've got our gloves, we've got our long pants, long sleeve shirt, eye protection. We're ready to go. So what we're going to want to do, the drip torch here, first things first is open the O-ring, okay? This is actually, what'll happen is it's really tempting to open this bleeder valve first. Do not do that, because what'll happen is if there's a difference of pressure, the outside air is warmer than inside here, the difference of pressure will cause the bleeder valve to backflow. So come up here, grab a big hold of this O-ring, release the pressure that way. Next step, we're going to wiggle that loose a little bit there, make sure it's not stuck. And we are going to undo our close valve here. This is actually the valve that sits on the back of the neck of the drip torch and allows fuel to flow. So at this point, when we started, this drip torch was completely closed, and then we're going to make sure and secure it into the opposite hole of the holder. Now, close in. We should be able to see this screen here. That's our cue that this is ready to go. Okay. If you don't see screen, switch sides. We're going to carefully pull this out, and we're going to let it drain. And we're going to turn it back over. The important piece here is that the handle and this little dip all make one line, and the dip needs to be downward. What this does is this prevents fuel from backflowing into the tank and causing serious issues, up to and including explosive compression. So now we're going to find the threads and thread this back on, and we want to make sure, so what I do usually is I'll give it about a quarter turn. As the threads grip, they will, and now it's going to make a liar out of me, but as the threads grip, they will typically turn this into being in line with the handle, which is where you want it to be. Make sure that is on there nice and snug. Now you can open your bleeder valve. And you want to open that up, give it a good couple turns. It should set loosely on there, just enough. And so your flow, as you watch here out of your nozzle tip, the flow out of the wick, over the wick, should just be a gentle little dribble. Like that. That's perfect. Okay, so talk about the fuel mix for this real quick. So we want mostly diesel, a little bit of gas. All right, so if you're mixing up a 5-gallon jerry can of burn mix, you want 4 gallons of diesel and 1 gallon of gas. Will give you pretty much perfect for almost all situations. If it's a really cold day or your fuels are a little more wet, you can go up to 1.5 gallons of gas and 3.5 of diesel. But again, the big thing is make sure there is more diesel in that tank. And if you're mixing it just from here's a gas can, here's a diesel can, you want to get 2/3 to 3/4 full on this torch of diesel, and then fill the rest of the way with gas and leave a little bit of room in the top for expansion of the tank. And that's it.